Hello, everyone. I actually just drove up from Louisville and I heard bourbon break. I was like, man, Columbus really knows how to make a Kentucky boy feel at home, right? Anyway, I'm Danny Shaw. I'm with SKUVault. We're one of the global leaders in real-time, cloud-based warehouse management systems. We have clients all over the board, ranging from manufacturing companies to e-commerce merchants. A real challenge across our customer base was driving data-based decisions related to their supply chain. And we were trying to find a solution for this, and when we heard of Nexosis' machine learning platform, we saw a great opportunity in the partnership. As far as forecasting goes, before the integration with Nexosis, most of our customers were performing this forecasting with Excel spreadsheets, applying sales history to current sales trends. Now, this wasn't very accurate. 60 to 70% leaves a lot of room for error. Let me tell you about one of our mutual customers. So before Nexosis and SKUVault got together, Pepsi saw a 63% accuracy rate in their forecasting. After the implementation of Nexosis and SKUVault, they saw a rise to 86%. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the CEO and co-founder of Nexosis, Ryan Seavey.
Thank you, Danny. People keep talking of bourbon, but there's none back there. It's all a lie. So as Danny said, I'm Ryan Seavey, the CEO and co-founder of Nexosis. What we've done at Nexosis is create a machine learning platform. And what that means is that people can use our platform to create intelligent self-learning applications. What we like to kind of explain that as is when Axon is first deployed at a customer, it has the knowledge of a brand new employee. After a couple months, however, it has the knowledge of an employee that's been at that organization for several years. Our initial traction was within the supply chain management vertical. And a lot of our customers were asking us to solve the demand forecasting problem. However, since then, we've also started tackling issues like workforce scheduling and pricing optimization. And when you start thinking about all these different problems and challenges, the key theme is that all this data comes into consideration. So things like weather data, price data, promotions, more than a human could ever factor into making a decision. This theme of having too much data to efficiently analyze is going to continue. And our retailers especially keep telling us we have all this data, we just need a way to make use of all of it. To make matters worse and more complex, the Internet of Things, which is gaining widespread adoption, is expected to have 25 billion connected devices by the year 2020. That's more connected devices than there are people on the planet, all of which are collecting and transmitting data. And this is where Axon comes into play. We begin by connecting directly with the customer's existing data sources. This could be anything from IoT devices to Excel files to structured or unstructured databases. Next, we enrich their data. So we've created all these enrichment streams. This could be anything from weather data to social media sentiment to economic data. Once we have all the data, Axon then figures out how to normalize it and transform it. A good way to explain this is weather data. We typically find missing decimal points, or the decimal point is in the wrong place. So instead of seeing a temperature that should be 23.9 degrees, you'll see 239 degrees. Obviously, if you make a model off that, bad things are going to happen. Once we have all the data normalized and transformed, we can then start making models. And this is where the true power of Nexosis' engine comes into play. Some of our customers only need a few models, but others need up to 60,000 different independently operating machine learning models. And we figured out how to do that. Once we have the models made, we deploy them into a user interface or an application that the users directly interface with. Here's an example of an application that was made with Axon. This is currently in deployment in Minot, North Dakota, and is now responsible for all of their order and demand forecasting needs. And the beauty with this is that the users can disagree with what our models are spitting out. So for example, if you look at Aquafina up there, it recommends that they need 189 cases. The person using the system can look at this and say, no, I think I need 200 cases. And since this is a learning system, tomorrow when they log in, Axon is going to say, oh, look, you really did need 200 cases. Why is that? It'll learn from that and get better. Of course, there are competitors in the market. Some competitors with really big names like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. However, if you try to use any of these other platforms, you will immediately run into an issue with scaling their models. For example, our Pepsi solution that we just mentioned has about 834 different models. Trying to do that with any of those big three would probably take you 6 months to 9 months. Plus, they all have vendor lock. So Nexosis Axon, on the other hand, we do not have any vendor lock. It's easy to migrate. We give you your models. We ship them on Docker containers. And we give our users complete visibility into their data. Our team is mostly comprised of software engineers, data scientists, and machine learning engineers. Jason Montgomery and I, our CTO, started a project in 2013 where we successfully created the first cheat detection model for video games. Jason also has over 22 years of .NET programming experience and wrote the SANSecure.NET course. Aaron Ansari leads our sales and business activities, and he also runs triathlons. And I mention that only because the true capabilities of Axon lets people create their own apps with machine learning baked in. So we were just discussing how he could use Axon to take all of his running data and then create an app for that to predict how well he might do in his races. So again, while we initially started with the supply chain vertical, this can be applied to any vertical. We've thought about fraud detection, something that's about an $817 million vertical, cybersecurity, which is a $96 billion vertical, or even smart cities, estimated to be a $1.5 trillion market opportunity by 2020. So I'd like to invite all of you to stop by our table afterwards. We can discuss how we're scaling our models, and you can learn a little bit more about us. Thank you.